Adventurous Spirits, a weekly musical podcast in which we come together in the ups and downs of daily life as connected to our own individual adventure. And just remember what's important. We talk about the ordinary and extraordinary, interruptions, helps, surprises, everything that we have come to expect in a typical adventure story, but it still kind of catches you by surprise when it's your own life. So this is episode number 24. I have titled it Real Life Navigation. And I'm your host, Cortney Matz. I will be serenading you along this thrilling journey that we're on together. And because every personal growth journey needs a good soundtrack, we need stories to help us remember that we're not the only ones going through this. And we need songs to just put the truth and the emotion of what you already know into something that's, kind of catchy and gives it a different depth of feeling. I was teaching I was leading a songwriting workshop yesterday. I don't really teach that much. I just talk about what I do and then ask other people what they do, and then we help each other. But we were just talking about the fact that you never really kind of know. Wow, I have now completely lost track of what I was going to say in that story, so that's very disorienting. It's an obstacle in my path, to borrow the phrase from "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?", which is an adventure story as well. Navigation. Just talking about finding your way. And there are all sorts of applications for this concept, but I think we can all relate to the idea of being on a path, being on a journey, whether it's a career journey and just a personal life goals situation, your purpose in the world, and each individual project that we work on. Have no idea what I was going to say with that first story. I went on a tangent, and then I interrupted the tangent, and then I lost the thread, which is appropriate because that's what we're talking about today. How to retrace your steps, find the thread. And I have learned from over and over again losing the thread that I do really well with lists. I do really well with having, when I have those moments of clarity and I know where I'm going, I write it down, and then I try to be really conscientious to check things off as I address them so that they're not still sitting there and I don't have to revisit the whole process every time I know I've done all this, now I'm on this step. So how do I apply that same logic to everything in life? Literally everything. Well, let's talk about it. That's what today is for. So let's dig into this first song called Solitary Road. Shoot, I just realized this is on private. Can I edit it while I'm streaming? Let's see. Here we go. Solitary Road. They say go find your way. Don't hang back, don't waste another day. I feel like the powers that be are helping me out by giving me a few little obstacles to navigate today while I'm trying to do this podcast on navigating obstacles. Who knows how to count the steps unknown on this solitary road? Successful or unsuccessful as relates to how many or how close we are to a goal or how many things we have or have completed. As a very task-oriented person, that's how I am anyway. I feel like every day kind of starts at zero, and the more stuff I can do in totality and completion, the more I feel like I'm doing it right. Which is a challenging point of view. Because so much of life, as I have said, is unmeasurable. So headed somewhere and you get to a point where you need to retrace your steps or get back to where you were. You have branching narratives, to use a phrase from the world of game books. You have choices to do this or that, and so you choose this, and then later you decide, oh, I should have done that. How do you get back to that place where you can choose that? I think we get those opportunities in life. We certainly have those opportunities in the world of work and most projects that we're doing and most actual trips that we take. We have options to say, I'm not going to go to this city today. I'm going to get back on the train and go to another city. And you just need to know how to get back to the place that lets you make a new choice. But how I think about this often is that I get derailed. I'm on my way somewhere, and something unexpected happens. Like I get critique, or I get a bad review. That's happened before. Deserved or undeserved, it feels lousy to get a bad review. So now you're navigating not just where to go from here or how to get back to where I was, but you're navigating all of the emotion that goes with that lousy experience. Logically, I think that you need to be brave. You hear stories all the time of people who have hit failure after failure after failure, and they figured it out. They kept going, and now we're telling the story of their success because they kept going long enough to have the success. In my Epiphany Space online community, Melissa has been doing a series the last few weeks on business people who are very well known for something and kind of how many times they tried to do it before they finally succeeded. And today she posted about this fellow named Dyson. Over 5,000 attempts at a bagless vacuum cleaner. Over 5,000, like more than 5,100, I think, even. Like maybe 5,156 or something like that. Like a whole lot. And I wonder what the people in his life thought at that point. Like once you get past 3,000 failed attempts and, 10 years of trying, are they thinking, maybe you should find something else to do. Maybe you're not that good at this. Or maybe they were super supportive. Maybe they caught the vision. They saw how excited he was about it, and they said, you have to stick with this until you figure it out. Hey, Javier. Then, I don't know, either way, it's a long, tough road to get to that point of the 5,157th prototype that does finally succeed. Yourself back up, navigate that obstacle of rejection, failure, disappointment, other people being like, How do you navigate that? And we're gonna do a whole another podcast on this at some point, but it is a thing to recognize. And so here is a song that I wrote about that process of recognizing that I need to get back up and try again. But first, I gotta deal with the fact that I'm kind of gun shy. Do you ever wish you could change your personality? Just a little bit. I sometimes wish I could reclaim who I used to be, sure of my destiny. Now I'm hanging on for dear life. a setback like that, where you just kind of felt nervous to try again for whatever reason. You fell off the horse, you know you got to get back on, but how do you do it? What's your method of giving yourself the vision of doing it? I think for me it really helps to write songs, not surprisingly. And I'm actually going to be leading another songwriting workshop on June 26th. It's called Self-Care Through Songwriting. And in that class, we're specifically trying to take things that we need to hear regularly, and specifically trying to wrestle with some of the messages that we get from our own brains and from the world around us, and kind of actively respond with the things that we need to hear regularly. And when you can sing to yourself what you know you need to hear in the moment, that can be really powerful. Now, obviously, there are also a lot of great fight songs out there as well. I like to think Gunshy is one of them. And every now and then, I like to flesh out my own personal playlist of swagger songs, I call them. Songs that just help me feel more competent and able to do the things in my life that I need to do. That speak back to the fear and the worry that wants to kind of keep me small and helps me be brave, honestly. That's like one of the things I need most from music, is bravery and courage and reasons for that, not just, surfacey, like, oh, be strong, be cool, you got this. I need like real evidence in those low moments that I do have this, that I do got this, if that's proper grammar. So yeah, think about what those things are for you. What are they? Songs? Are they journal prompts? Are they friends that you talk to that lift you up and remind you of who you are? Who are the people? What are the tools, the prompts that put it all back in perspective? Where you can be prompted to think and feel things that remind you of who you really are and help you find courage to face whatever is coming at you or whatever has derailed you. And also very practically. So, that I am a freelance entrepreneur. Now that's a double whammy, but I have businesses that I'm developing. I also work freelance for organizations, so I have a number of hats that I wear. But I basically am responsible for managing multiple projects at multiple times, and there are real needs from day to day to remember where I was the last time I was working on this thing and what was my plan going forward. And I'm just learning that it's important to keep track. So, just like for today, I've drawn this little map for myself of the songs that I'm planning to do and the topics I'm planning to cover in between, which is fine for right now. It's rare that I'm going to have to stop doing this and get up and do something else and then come back to it. So I don't really have to keep track with it that much. But when it comes to daily life and work, my work is all over the place, my life is all over the place, things interrupt. So to be able to have a running list of big picture items, like these are my main projects for right now, and these are their deadlines. And then today I'm working on this project. And then before I finish that project, I need to leave myself a little tracking element, a little breadcrumb to remember what I was doing, so that next time when I come to it, process that I am perfecting. It is not 100% there, but I think the concept applies to a number of things. So let me know if that resonates with you and what you do to help yourself keep track, so that you don't just feel lost every time you have to come back to a project or to a what would be another thing that you have to come back to? I'm very much in project mode right now, so that's kind of the only example I can think of. But if you think of any like big life goal that you have, like a financial goal, or maybe you're trying to be healthier, like take better care of your health, and you've been researching different medications or different practices, you know, there's going to be times where you have to step away from that. So maybe you need a good way to track what you've discovered, what you've learned, or, you know, and advice you've gotten from other people, other experts, and where that has led you. Oh, Steve is here. Hello, Steve. Steve says, when I'm trying to get the courage to do something I'm worried will fail, I tend to give myself a reverse pep talk. Yes, I'll fail, but I'll fail spectacularly. Works surprisingly well. That's such an interesting idea. I like that. I would love to hear that in a song. Well, whether you are trying to keep track of yourself and your progress in life, in health, in work, in relationships, or just in your overall scheme of things, I think it's very valuable to have notes. Like I do notes on the mirror. Not too many, or else I don't look at any of them, but just keep it current, keep it specific. Here's what I need to remember today. Here's what my life is about. Don't get thrown off by the other stuff that you see. Remember who you are and what you care about. I tend to be sort of a left-brained artist, so that works for me, to have a note that reminds me what's important. And also having songs that point me in that direction, as has been discussed. So I'm gonna sing you one more. This is a good one for helping me remember who I am and why I don't have to be stressed about everything in my life. It's called Starting Line. Waking up, thinking thoughts, planning for the day. Don't know how I'm gonna pay for it all. Got a list, things to do as long as my arm. Not including what I forgot. It's the same old story, same old habits, same old prayers. I'm stuck in a rut, but it's a new day, and there's mercy that I have never seen. helps put it in perspective a little bit, just to remember that you are a part of this world. Even your breath is a gift, you know? That's very humbling for me to remember, because I realize that when I start the day anxious about everything I'm trying to do and trying to remember where I was and do well with the time that's ahead of me, it can feel very me, you know? It's just like, it's all about me, I have to do this right. And to be reminded that I am responding to a world and a rhythm of life that's already been provided for me is very it's very releasing of that stress. It helps me just embrace my place in the world. Not that I'm not important, but I'm not as important as I feel like I am in those moments, in a stressful way, if that makes sense. So I hope that it has the same effect on you. I want to make your life less stressful, easier to be strong and courageous, because we know that you're not in it alone. And I have some hopes for you. Hopefully this week I'm going to be updating my blog. I have a blog on my website now called CortneyMatz.com. So I'll be going into more detail on the songs in each podcast episode and kind of diving into where they came from. And if you'd like to hear these songs again, you can become a Patreon supporter. For $10 a month, you can hear and download any song that I have released on Patreon, which right now is like 70 plus. It's a lot of songs. Most of them are not widely available because it is just a lot of work to put music out. So this is my rhythm. I release a song every month on patreon.com. And you can get just each new song for $1 a month, or you can get access to all of them for $10 a month. And it's just a great way to support this whole adventurous journey that we're on together. And also you get invited to specific events that I put on just for my patrons, and then we can all benefit from one another's adventures and the whole process. So check out the blog this week. Not yet, I haven't updated it yet, but starting tomorrow, Wednesday, and going forward, we'll have a lot more information there. But meanwhile, I just want to bless you on whatever adventures you're up to today. May you find the courage that you need when you are daunted, and may you also find reasons to rest and trust hands that are bigger than yours. Just being reminded of your own breath and your own heartbeat, and these little reminders that that you are seen, you are cared for, you are provided for in ways that you can never take care of on your own.